Hello there, my name is John, also known as UltVA, and this is going to be a little different than the other videos that I've made thus far on the channel, because this is going to be amongst a series of vlogs explaining my experience and my, thoughts and opinions on week one on the Certified Voice Artist program. And we are already on week four, or like we're already past week four. It's kind of technically not a genuine week one, vlog, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to try my best to recollect my thoughts and opinions and to explain my, the memorable moments and the highlights that happened during the week. Now, there was a little bit of some odd stuff. For example, even though that it's a voice artist program or voice acting program, before we continued forward, we kind of just did some like goofy dances, that kind of thing, just to pass the time until we waited until like our, the co-host would like come by, that kind of thing, and actually, tell us about this stuff. Which was kind of strange, but at the same time, I kind of just mostly excused it as more of just like, just wanting to add a little bit of fun into what would, normally be a very mundane, just sitting, just waiting. And when it comes to the actual, stuff that they actually taught us, or the stuff that they, were telling us about, voice acting and voiceover work, I actually went out of my way to, get my phone and actually type some of this stuff down, basically making it as like a note, basically. So these are technically my notes. And a lot of the topics that were talked about I found really interesting. One of the stuff that we talked about was busting popular myths, voice acting requirements, availability, voice branding, that kind of thing. These were all mainly topics that were talked about by, I believe, somebody named Navi. Navi was basically the person talking about this stuff, that kind of thing. And I found it really, really interesting because, some of the stuff like hit fairly, close to home. But at the same time, it was also stuff that I, did research beforehand, which I found really, really cool. Now, when it comes to the people in the actual program, the co-hosts and stuff like that, they were, the co-hosts were very, energetic. They had that energy, and were all in all like pretty nice. Whenever that I had a time to speak, they were pretty understanding on the fact that I do not know how to speak my own native. So because of that, they were, they did their best to talk to me in exclusively English, and that was basically as to how they respected my limitations. Now, I'm in batch 19 of the program, and I bring this up because the entirety of the batch, everybody within batch 19, got separated into multiple different groups. And the reason for that was because, they wanted us to be pinned with other people within the program and to, basically working together as a team, basically cooperate, do stuff together, that kind of thing, help each other with assignments, and just basically get to know each other and to do some of the assignments that require, teamwork, such as, doing dubs together, that kind of thing. One of the things that we had to figure out as a group was to come up with a name for the group. Now, we ended up settling with Audio Aces, with one of the E's as a 3. I liked it. I can't really give a thought and opinion. I liked it. It is legitimately a name that I quite liked. But, aside from that, one of the other things that we had to do was to introduce ourselves in a creative way that's sticking to a theme. Now, what that means by sticking to a theme is that if a group were to introduce themselves within the style or theme of a newscast or like a news broadcast or a weather report, that would basically be how it would go down. So it's like, moving on into, like going down into, the ground and stuff like that and checking on the weather there. Here's Carl or something like that. Now, we decided to introduce ourselves within the style of an esports. Esports is basically competitive video gaming. And in competitive video gaming, there's stuff like announcers, that kind of thing. So we end up having like, stuff like, and coming up next with his aggressive play style and his lightning fast reflexes, we have David, the blah, 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 blah. And we settled with that after coming through we settled with that after going through multiple different drafts. And when it came to communicating and to hanging out with the people within my group, it was legitimately fun. It was, these people were surprisingly, incredibly understanding. Let me just say this. I believe it was batch one or group one, sorry. Their introductory was incredibly good. They did a newscast, news broadcast, that kind of thing as the theme, and they had like music in the background and stuff like that. They were really solid. Now, that was something that I found really, really cool, but it made it all the more worse knowing the fact that we were going to be coming up just not that long after. But like, I guess to sum it up as quickly as possible, the entire session was just fun. It was just a fun, chill experience having to meet some of the people within the batch, but to also have people within a group that I'm a part of, and to get to know the people of the group a little bit, and to just like communicate all in all. I'm not the best when it comes to communicating, but the few times that I did talk to them, it was incredibly fun. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts and opinions on it, and yeah, gonna be moving on to week 2 for the next video or next vlog. Have a nice day.